Hello student, myself Chaudhary YB from Department of Chemistry, RBNB College, Sri Rampur. Today we are going to see the ionic equilibria that belongs to physical chemistry branch. Now, first of all, we can discuss what is meant by ionic equilibria. The equilibrium that exists between ions and unionized molecule, this equilibrium is called ionic equilibrium. When acetic acid is dissolved in a water, we prepare the aqueous solution of acetic acid, it get dissociate into its ion, that is acetate ion and H plus ion. The equilibrium exists between ions and unionized molecule. This equilibrium is called ionic equilibrium. This acetic acid is a weak acid. It does not dissociate completely. Then it achieves the partial equilibrium between ions and unionized molecule. But in case of HCl, this HCl is a strong electrolyte. It dissociates completely when dissolved in a water and forms H plus and Cl minus ions. Now we discuss what is meant by electrolytes. The substance when dissolved in a water, some substances are dissociate into its ion and some substances present as a molecule form in the solution. According to this, the substances are classified into two groups, that is non-electrolytes and electrolyte substances. First of all, what is meant by electrolytes? The electrolyte that dissociate into its ion and in an aqueous solution is called as the electrolytes. For example, when HCl is dissolved in a water, it get H plus plus Cl minus. These are the electrolytic substances. And non-electrolytic substances means the substances which cannot dissociate into its ion are called non-electrolytic substances. For example, benzene, sugar, diethyl ether, these are the example of non-electrolytic substances. Non-electrolytic substances means which cannot dissociate into its ion when it dissolved in a aqueous, it dissolved in a solvent. For example, benzene, sugar, urea, glucose, diethyl ether, these are the example of non-electrolytic substances. Now, by the capability of dissolving, the electrolytic substances are classified into two groups, that is, first is strong electrolyte and second is weak electrolyte. Depending on the capability of dissolving, the electrolytes are classified into strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. In a strong electrolyte, when substance is dissolved in a water, it gets dissociated completely or almost completely. These substances is called as the strong electrolyte. And what is meant by weak electrolyte? The weak electrolyte, the substances dissociate in a very small extent. These substances is called as the weak electrolyte. The degree of dissociation for strong electrolyte is unity, that is 1. Alpha is the degree of dissociation. The degree of dissociation for a strong electrolyte is 1 and 100% ionization takes place in strong electrolyte. And for a weak electrolyte, the degree of dissociation is less than 1. For a weak electrolyte, the value of degree of dissociation is less than 1 and the ionization is less than 100%. About 5 to 10% ionization takes place in a weak electrolyte. These are the two types of the electrolyte. First is a strong electrolyte and second is the weak electrolyte. Strong electrolyte means the ionization takes place completely and the degree of dissociation is unity, that is 1. In this 100% ionization takes place. For a weak electrolyte, the dissociation takes place in a very small extent. In this condition, the degree or the value of degree of dissociation is less than 1 and the ionization is very less than 100%. Now, what is meant by degree of dissociation? We know the formula of degree of dissociation. It is denoted by alpha. Degree of dissociation is equal to number of moles dissociated divided by number of moles taken initially. It is the ratio of degree of dissociation. When alpha multiplied by 100, the value is the percent degree of dissociation. For a strong electrolyte, the value of alpha, that is degree of dissociation, is 1 and for weak electrolyte, the value of alpha is less than 1. Now, which are the factors which affect the value of degree of dissociation? First factor is a dilution. We know the relation, that is degree of dissociation is directly proportional to square root of volume. When increase the dilution, increase the value of degree of dissociation. Now next factor is a temperature. When temperature is increases, also the degree of dissociation increases. Now next is the nature of electrolytes. We know that there are two types of the electrolyte, strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. For a strong electrolyte, the degree of dissociation is 100% and for weak electrolyte, the degree of dissociation is less than 100%. Now next factor is the nature of a solvent. Which solvent we use, that is, it is depend. For example, for a solvent, we consider the dielectrical constant. The dielectrical constant is measured by polarity. More the polar solution, more its dielectrical constant. We know the relation. When dielectrical constant increases, also the alpha value, that is value of degree of dissociation, is increases. For some solvent are given. For water, the value of dielectrical constant is 81 and for heavy water it is 79. For benzene it is 2.5 and for trichloromethane the value of dielectrical constant is 0. On depending on the dielectrical constant value, when dielectrical constant value increases, the degree of dissociation also increases. On this basis, one problem is asked, which one has greater alpha 1 or alpha 2 for following equation. The two equations are given. First equation, NH4OH plus water and its degree of dissociation is denoted by alpha 1, and second equation, NH4OH plus heavy water, that is deuterated water, and its degree of dissociation is alpha 2. The problem is given, which one has a greater alpha 1 or alpha 2. In these two equations, the ammonium hydroxide is dissolved in a water in a first equation, and their degree of dissociation is denoted by alpha 1. And when ammonium hydroxide is dissolved in a heavy water, its degree of dissociation is alpha 2. We know the relation between dielectrical constant and alpha. We know that increase the dielectrical constant, increase the value of alpha. In this case, in a first equation, that is water is a solvent, water has a 81 dielectrical constant, and for a second equation, for a heavy water, that is D2O, the dielectrical constant is 79. For these two equations, H2O has a high dielectrical constant as compared to D2O, means the alpha 1 is greater than alpha 2, because the dielectrical constant of water is greater than D2O. These are the nature of a solvent. Now we consider the various examples of electrolytes. Then electrolytes are classified into two groups. First is a strong electrolyte and second is a weak electrolyte. For a strong electrolyte, alpha value, that is value of alpha is unity and 100% ionization takes place. And for weak electrolyte, alpha is very less than 100% and its degree of dissociation is less than 1%. Now, which are the example of a strong electrolyte? First, strong acids, and next is the strong bases. Which are strong acids? First is HClO4, then H2SO4 sulfuric acid, HI, HBr, HCl and HNO3, that is nitric acid. These acids are strong acids. Now which is the example of strong bases? First is NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, LiOH, lithium hydroxide, KOH means potassium hydroxide, RbOH means rubidium hydroxide, CSOH, SrOH twice, BaOH twice. These are the examples of a strong bases. For these elements, that is sodium, lithium, potassium, rubidium and cesium, these are the first group elements, and these two are the second group elements. Sodium, lithium, potassium, rubidium and cesium, these are the first group element, and strontium and barium, these are the second group elements. These are the strong electrolytes. Then which are the example of weak electrolytes? First, weak acid. Which are the weak acid? First is HCOH, that is the formic acid, CH3COH, that is acetic acid, HNO2, that is nitrous oxide. HNO3 is a strong acid, but HNO2 is a weak acid. H2S is a hydrogen sulfide, HClO3, HCN, H2CO3 and H2SO3 sulfurous acid. Sulfurous acid is a weak acid and sulfuric acid is strong acid. Now consider weak bases. Which are the weak bases? NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide, ZnOH twice, that is zinc hydroxide, AlOH thrice, that is aluminum hydroxide, and FeOH twice, that is ferrous hydroxide or iron hydroxide. These are the various examples of a strong, weak and strong electrolytes.